Welcome back, everybody, to the BD1P Binding of Isaac modded series. Today we have a brand new mod to cover, the Binding of Isaac Retribution. It adds 2 new characters, 160 new items, and I believe a new secret boss, if I am not mistaken. There are no tainted variants for these characters quite yet, but still 2 brand new, fully fleshed out characters to play as. We're going to be trying out ICARUS for today's video, and in a couple days for you guys doing Mammon. We have Wax Wings Communion and Curse of the Sun. I have no idea what any of these do. I'm going in blind just like you guys are for this mod. I want to apologize as well off the bat. That's new. If the webcam looks a bit framey today, there's a storm going on outside and my lighting situation is kind of messed up, so you can deal with it for a couple of videos. C, by the way, is going to be 2966 VM1T. Good speed, great tier rate, great damage, average range, average luck and shot speed, and then no devil or angel stuff on the first floor. We have an Eternal Heart and an active item. It looks like Wax Wings just gives you flight. I almost don't want to touch this. Fire to me means I'm going to take ouch damage and lose my Eternal Heart, so I'm not going to mess with that. Oh, that's new as well. 25 Sun. I'm going to use my knowledge of being a college dropout and taking 1 Greek literature class in college to give you guys a bit of a story about Mr. ICARUS himself. ICARUS was the son of the inventor Daedalus, I'm pretty sure, who made the labyrinth and a bunch of other mythological inventions. And after being trapped in, I think, Crete, or what country was he trapped in? It wasn't like Croatia. Was it like... I don't remember where. It was some kind of country that starts with like C. Something like that. I have Balor. The monster in the lowest percentage health takes more damage from your attacks. Okay, cool. Epic. But either way, Daedalus was trying to escape wherever he was being held as like a prisoner with his son. So he fashioned these wings out of bird feathers and wax, and they flew out of the island together. I think it was Crete, actually, if I'm remembering my proper class like correctly. And as they were escaping, ICARUS got too cocky with his wings and flew up really high into the air near the sun, and the sun's heat melted off the wax from his feathers and he plummeted straight down into the ocean and died, which kind of soured Daedalus forever. And I think at this point in Daedalus's life he had already made the labyrinth and the Minotaur, so I think that was already made. I don't remember what happens after that point in Daedalus's life, but either way, it was a somber tale to say the very least. We also have an active item. What does this do? Our sun value is the same. Our HP is the same. Is it a combative thing, maybe? Oh my god, there's ghosts in here. These are like floor 4 enemies. What are you doing on this floor? Oh, Communion reflects shots back at stuff. That's neat. Also, I think this character fights harder enemies. I read on the Steam page before starting this video that you fight stronger foes because you have, like, really powerful items to start out with here. So we might be fighting just harder stuff in general because of the character we're playing as. But the Daedalus ICARUS story is quite the famous one. And I almost did that as my report for my final, but some other kid took that topic before me. I was doing Arachne instead. That was my Greek mythology thing in college. I did a presentation on the Greek goddess of spiders, and that one also deals with the god... What? Firemind hurt me, and I lost my flight and my stats. Okay, very epic. Apparently this character has, like, Cursed Eye when you're powered up, I think? That's a little... What? Okay, that's fine, actually. Don't worry about that. It looks like we have Cursed Eye when we're, like, super powered up. We're also fighting a champion Fiendfolio first floor boss, which is not my favorite. It looks like, though, that the least powered up enemy takes more damage, and right now, well, it was the boss, which did a lot of good stuff for us. However, no longer. But they're both kind of about having god complexes. ICARUS thought he was so powerful and cool because he could finally fly, like the heroes of past times and the epics of past times. And the whole story of Arachne. Hold on, I don't want to take that yet. I want to go play out this like slot machine in the starting room. Where did we start? Was it down here? It was. If I touch you, Okay, I understand. You pay the statue out to get your buff back, and when you get hit, you lose your buff and leave the room as well. Interesting concept. We'll go alt path for today's run. Interesting concept for sure. But Arachne's story is all about a weaver, like a knit or crochet person, like that kind of weaver, not a beaver, who is making a tapestry, I think, in like a knitting contest, and that person claims, who is Arachne, she claims she is a better weaver than all of the gods are. And this pisses off, I think it's Athena, and Athena comes down and is like, I'm gonna challenge you to a contest. If I win, you gotta take back your slanderous claims about being the best. And Arachne's like, okay, sure. And they duke it out. And I think Arachne wins and her thing is better. But because Athena is a sore loser, Athena turns Arachne into a spider, like condemning her to weave forever because spiders weave webs. And it's just kind of like a cautionary tale to not diss the gods because the gods will always be better than the mortals are. It's a very interesting story, and a lot of allegories come back to real life as well in a lot of modern media. For example, my favorite little tidbit of knowledge about Arachne is that in the Eminem Rap God music video, there is one of the famous painting of the Battle of the Weavers, which is Arachne, Arachne? I forget how to say it. Maybe it's like Arcane or some shit, I don't know. But of Athena versus Spider Lady, and it's like their whole thing. I don't really care about that right now. It's very cool. I like the tales that are mostly about, you know, like don't have a god complex pretty much, because it shows how dangerous that can be. And although Greek mythology is mostly proven to be just that, like mythology and not real, I think the stories have some merit. It's just don't be too cocky, don't be too egotistical, you're not above fault yourself. This is a tinted rock, I think. It looks very bright blue. I might bomb that if I get the chance here shortly. Don't. See, look at that. I got my trigger finger ready constantly. But I like this story a lot. I like Greek mythology in general a lot, man. I grew up reading Percy Jackson, which is probably still one of my favorite book series today. My favorite book of all time, though, is The Count of Monte Cristo. Absolute classic revenge story right there. Watch this. Yeah, I get fricked up. I think you're Buster. I think that's your name, Ghostbuster, maybe. But the Percy Jackson books, it taught me a lot when I was in school. It taught me a lot about just Greek mythology and a lot of history too. That's pretty good for walking into our devil deal right here. Oh, yes, please. I'm a big fan of Flaming Mom's Knife as Icarus. Pretty cool. I based my entire personality for a while when I was in middle school around Percy Jackson. Because the books are, like, they are probably the best, like, middle school young adult novels you can find. They deal with a lot of complex themes. They're very diverse and inclusive, especially for the time they were written, where a lot of, like, young adult heroes were just, like, you know, insert random white kid, or mostly white girl. It was always, like, Katniss Everdeen, the girl from Divergent, the Maze Runner series. It was always very, like, plaster. But the Percy Jackson books, they had a lot. They had, you know, a gay character, and I think the third book he was introduced. It's a very, like, inclusive series, and I appreciate that about it a lot. The Disney, okay, that was unfortunate and also stupid on my part. Let's go fight the boss so we can maybe get HP and red hearts. That was just the quickest fight ever known to man. No red hearts, but we do get another devil deal here, which I think I will walk in. Succubus is pretty good. I don't think I have the HP to warrant this right now, though, so I'm going to take my leave from there. And we'll go look for everything else. That room's a dead end. We have a 40 sun value. It's going up per floor, I think. I should keep your communion finger ready, dude. This is going to be a brutal character, it looks like, for a while. Once you lose that buff, you're set back down to just, like, fighting stronger enemies as a weaker character. So it's important you can keep, oh my god, thank you, Ice, for that. Important to keep your stats up. Okay. That was a decently handled room in any regard. Gideon's Gaze gives us a lot more HP. I think I'll go Gideon's Gaze. And I don't regret that whatsoever. Sure, we can get spun from the other thing, but I think I'd much prefer to have a consistent form of HP in the later game there. Reverse Chariot. It could be good if we could enter into this room right here, which we might be able to. No, we can't. Are you a secret room up here? You are. Oh, potential HP in here, or trinkets too. We cannot use that. I think I will just... We started up here, right? I think I will spend half a heart to get that back right now. You do become like significantly stronger by using that, so I think it's within our best interest there. But no, I really enjoyed the Percy Jackson books. They're getting their own Disney Plus series here pretty soon. Yeah, 43, interesting. Which I'm gonna be ecstatic to see. I think I talked about this like very recently as well, but the movies for Percy Jackson were absolute dog. You might remember them being like just okay, like they're the first one wasn't too good, but it wasn't like super offensive to any long-term fans. The second one is pretty much unanimously agreed to be awful, but I think the first one is just as bad as the second. I think if you go back and you watch that as a Percy Jackson fan without having like the, oh my god, this series got a movie, rose-tinted glasses on, you'll see that it was fairly bad. Between like just not really portraying the characters correctly, the big age difference between the books and the movie. I mean, it's pretty horrendous. Even Rick Riordan, the creator of the series, like despises the movies, and he's a big fan of Logan Lerman, who played Percy as an actor. He just hates what they did to his child. It's kind of the same thing with like when a famous author of a really popular and renowned series hates whatever that series becomes when it's out of his grasp. Think, for example, I think his name is Alan Moore, the Watchmen author. He did. Okay, great. Oh, sure, dude. Are we gaining? No, we're losing sun by doing this. Fantastic. Alan Moore hates the HBO Watchmen. He hates the Watchmen movie. That was, I think it was, what, 2011? Something like that. He hates every Watchmen property besides his own comics. He thinks that adults being into superhero stuff is like a gateway to fascism. His words, not mine. I want to say, I don't think he's like wrong necessarily about that. I think you could definitely find a direct link to people obsessed with power in that regard and who, idolize superheroes as like grown men, myself probably included in that demographic as well. But I think calling it fascism is a little bit of a... It's definitely strongly worded for sure. But you got to take into account his series. It's always been about that. People give Alan Moore shit saying he doesn't understand his own, comic book. But that's kind of what the Watchmen series... It's about, heroizing powerful individuals for just having power. It's not a healthy gateway to anything good. So I think his message is clear. But I think it's got the boys syndrome, where the message of the show is constantly misinterpreted by people who just think it's like a surface level commentary on, whatever it's trying to mock. And I think that with The Boys being a show and so many people like unironically idolizing characters like Homelander, he becomes more right as the days goes on. And I actually really enjoyed the HBO Watchmen show. I thought it was great. I enjoyed the movie as well. I think Rorschach was a very endearing character. I know he's not a good person, but he can still be endearing in that regard, obviously. Villains can still be good characters from a writing perspective. I enjoyed the show and the movie a lot, and I think that it was well made. But it does directly go against the point that the original comics and the source material is trying to make, which is like, you're not supposed to idolize this. You're not supposed to rely on a certain group of people for power. It's very well, like... Oh, I don't want to get hit here. Hold on. It's very well documented and very well put into place in that comic line, but it does get misinterpreted quite a lot. And a lot of people say, oh, Alan Moore is like stupid. He doesn't get what his own comic lines are about, and the shows are good. The show those two schools of thought can exist at the same time. He can understand his source material, and the other shows can still be good. Sometimes going away from the material or the source material of a certain media can be for the better. There's been a lot of examples of that in the past that I can't, necessarily think of top of my head right now. Oh, God, I wish, dude. This is a great thing. None of these give you HP, though, right? Didn't Maw of the Void used to give you black hearts? And am I making that up? I think I'm making that up from Afterbirth Plus. I think I'm definitely making that up now that I think about it. Let's just, we can do this. Unicorn's a great item to have for Mom's Knife, so why don't we try to go for it? And make sure our luck is actually on our side for today. But those two schools of thought can exist. I think if it's any consolation, like, there's been great superhero stuff that's gone against what is previously known. Think of the Batman movie, which is the single best superhero movie ever made, in my opinion. Making the Riddler less campy and more like just goofy and serial killer-esque, I think it was a nice change for that universe. I think a campy Riddler would not really fit into what they were trying to do in that movie. It could have been goofy, sure, but this like serial killer manifesto ass like dude, I think it fits. I'm gonna do this here. I think it fits in the movie's universe quite well, and I want to see more of that. And even Barry Keoghan's Joker, which we saw a very tiny clip of in the like the post-release ARG type thing. You know, as much of not a big fan of Barry as an actor as I am, the portrayal of Joker is someone who is like physically scarred. And that's the reason he is how he is he has like an actual condition that made him, you know, get made fun of in school and shaped him to be who he was. I think it's a cool change. It's not how the Joker usually is, but for that universe, again, I think it fits better than just like, you know, Mark Hamill's funny Joker with the tropical sunglasses on kind of look. And I love that Joker. I've been watching a lot of Batman the Animated Series recently, and I'm a big fan of that version of the character, but, you know, different portrayals need different portrayals, if that makes sense. Like, different movies need different versions of the characters to function in whatever story that director is trying to tell. And Watchmen is the same thing. Sure, what's that guy? Was it Mirror Gazer? The guy with the reflective mask in the HBO show, who is kind of like that show's Rorschach, but like he's not as like evil or racist or awful as Rorschach is. I'm a lucky guesser today, aren't I? Hey, it's a little mammon beggar over there. Epic. That's a lot of money. I think I'll pay you out then. I feel like if I touch that... Oh no, that wouldn't be good, because we don't want to be taking damage, especially as this character. What, did you drop anything else? We just pop this for free luck? Hey, I agree. Do we keep the luck when we leave the room? I hope so. Yo, that's pretty epic, dude. That's pretty good. But he's a different take on like the Rorschach character, I guess. It's kind of like the interrogator or the guy trying to piece it together. And it's not very faithful to, I think, how he was in different great media forms, but I still enjoyed it quite a bit. I still think it was a cool idea for a character. He also had the greatest like song transition of the entire show, with the that one country folk song coming in, and he's at that bar drinking, and he meets, I guess a tiny spoiler, but he meets the fake girl who's trying to seduce him to show him that like they're gonna take over the world with giant fucking squids or some shit. I thought it was a great musical number, and I think it was kind of cool. I just overall like that show a lot, even if it isn't the most faithful thing in the world. I thought it was pretty good. I want to hit you, but I can't. It's a very claustrophobic room for sure. No soul hearts in there. It's not very good. I need HP pretty badly. We're not getting a lot of HP as this character. Not the character's fault. It's definitely just we're getting not great RNG on this run from boss drops and things of that nature. That was a good kill, though. You're done. I wanted to kill you before you hit me, but my knife did not go out fast enough. I need increased tier rate and consistent HP, and then I win this run. No question. Absolutely zero question. We have great items all across the board here. It's just fighting these harder enemies, or what like these guys. Those are supposed to be corpse enemies. Those are not this floor's type of enemy. It's difficult. Okay, Immoral Hearts. Sure, it's actually, I should have Yarrowed that for sure. Don't hurt me, please. I should have Yarrowed that Soul Heart for sure, but I think we're sitting in a much better position. So far, first impressions of the character as far as it goes is very fun. I actually really enjoy the mechanic of... I thought I would hate the Cursed Eye thing, but I now understand why it exists, and I already was in there, right? What kind of like twist it adds to the character. It's really, really cool. I like this a lot. Getting a lot of quality characters in the Repentance mod scene for sure. That is tiers. It's also HP. I mean, I feel like twice in the past like week I've asked for an item like Capricorn and then immediately got an item. It's always been Capricorn. That was stupid of me. What was the run where I was... It was the Forgotten run recently with Infinite Chest where I was like, I need HP and also tiers, and it gave me Capricorn the next item room. So that's pretty nice for us, I would say. I'm enjoying that. Let's go fight the boss. Oh, you are not ready for this, my friend. Knifed out. We getting so many devil deals too. Oh, I want you. I could take you. Okay. I was gonna say, if I got a health up there, I'd take it. And I did. I know it decreases our tier rate, but the damage, though. But the damage. All right, you know what? As risky as we are right now, I think moving on down is the right choice. And that's close to that. Don't put me there ever again. And I think if we make it to our shop and we see a Soul Heart and we Yarra that, then we win the run. I think getting that amount of HP... Okay, why can't I hit you? Is there a reason why I can't hit you? What's the twist here, bub? Oh, we got our flight back. So when you enter a floor, you get your flight back. Why can't I deal damage to you? I'm going to assume we're bugged. Okay, that's cool. I'm going to assume we were bugged there. If I was supposed to just wait it out, I apologize, but that's kind of a dumb enemy mechanic if that's the case, because once the room is over, like... I'm just going to walk to the opposite corner and I won't be hit. I'm assuming that was just like, I did something, I don't want to say uncanny, but like, I don't want to be part of the fucking Mr. Incredible meme, but I did something that was not correct there. And it caused a little bit of issues. I'm just going to do this. I don't know what half of these flies in here do. Maybe it was the eye that did that. The eye made the enemy take so much damage the game thought, kill that enemy, immediately dust it, but it had a second phase it wasn't taking into account. I don't know anything about coding, but I feel like I can usually deduce what an issue is based off context clues pretty well. I'm not claiming to be some kind of fucking, you know, Bill Gates with this shit, but I've had my moments for sure. Why don't we actually... Let's look for some Soul Hearts. If we get 2 on the ground, which is not going to happen... Actually, we got 0, believe it or not. I was going to use my Yarra in there, but that's HP. Get safe. There we go, boys. We find that Spirit Heart, and then we're in good hands. Oh, Mega Blast. You need to calm the freak down, dude. There we go. Yarra. Lovely. That's 3D goggles, and this is... You make your own book? Oh, I can't buy it, so I guess we'll never know what book that... I think it's just the make your own book, where it's like, hey, pick some random effects, and there you go. But our HP is looking phenomenal, so I can actually do this. Really? I actually don't think we can get wings. Maybe we need to be below 50 to hit it and get the wings. That might be the trade-off there. That was a lot of HP we just wasted. We are now back in the same position we were like 40 seconds ago. I still think we're doing okay. And I think Gideon's Gaze only becomes more useful as the runs go on here. So... Or as the floors go on, excuse me. Okay, sure. So I'm going to say we're still fine. We're getting HP back quite nicely. And I'm going to try to not play that altar out. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah. I mean, I can't, like, say no to that, whether that was intentional or not. That was definitely a bug. Hey, man. That's extra items. That's extra drops for us. Like, would a man like me deny that? Oh, we can get silver dollar, too, for more HP, like, next floor. Yeah. That was what I was looking for exactly there. Now we have HP back. Now we have, just follow the circle around here. Wrong way anyways. We have HP back, we have money, we have keys, bombs, drops galore. Hey, look, man, another black heart. We could, in fact, I'm feeling a little bit cocky right now. We're at 63, and it's bloody. I wonder what happens if it hits like 100, or if it gets to like, you know, 75, 80. If we start getting, like, maybe it's harder enemies, or the higher chance to see harder enemies, the higher the sun value is, which would be actually quite the cool mechanic. Hold on. Well, hey, another wax wing here, please. Hey, thank you. Maybe it's something like that. Again, I could be entirely wrong. Maybe the sun value is actually... I'm not a fan of this. Maybe the sun value is actually really good for you. But I'm starting to think that maybe running without it is better, so I'm not like getting teleported out of rooms when I get hit. I know it's a trade-off for damage for sure. Oh. No extra HP there. I know it's a damage trade-off for sure. But I think I'd rather just like keep the extra HP from spending it and be able to defeat rooms in, you know, one hit still. With Mom's Knife, the damage matters less with Mom's Knife. Woo! The luckiest black heart known to man. The damage matters less. We have so much, we deal so much no matter what our stat is right now. The Mastema thing is dropping us plenty. I mean, look at that. Like, this is without the bonus, we're still dealing massive damage. We'll go Polaroid, I guess. And we'll open these up and probably get, you know, Jack. That's funny. Yeah, no, I'm not touching that. I've already complained about you like tenfold in this run. I'm just gonna leave this and then we'll go fight our womb bosses and head on down to the cathedral. All right, boss number 1 is hopefully going to die very quickly. We have but yeah, that was that was one like Azazel Mega Blast and they're done. Hey, more HP. Gave us a Morbid Heart. I don't know what Morbid Hearts do. I haven't messed around with these too much in this game yet, but one more womb boss and then we're on to cathedral. And of course, the shop we get on this floor is Ultra Greed. That makes a lot of sense now that I think about it. We can get some upgrades here in the sewing machine, though, I guess. I don't really care about model. I guess modeling clay would be better than the silver dollar at this point, but still, I was really hoping to make use of these shops, and it just seems like the game was not feeling that same idea for me. I gotta wait for it to go away. Now I can walk over it finally, but I should mention, I've been forgetting to mention this a lot in these videos, but I'm putting together a tournament. Not for Isaac this time. Different game. It's a Minecraft tournament. A Minecraft lockout tournament. And I'm looking for any creator who is around my size, like anywhere from like, you know, 15K to like 50K, to play in this tournament. It's a 2v2 format, so just throw some random names at me in the comments down below. I've already got quite a few of the slots filled. We have, I don't want to like give, you know, people like, oh, they're doing it and they're not actually fully committed yet, but I know Turtle Melon's down, Never Named is down, Alexa seems like he's pretty interested. He's just got to get, you know, a solid date and a partner down for it too. But most people I've asked so far in the roguelike indie scene and the Lego speedrun scene, they're all interested in doing it. So if you got any other creators you want to see be a part of this, you know, 2v2 lockout Minecraft thing, throw some names at me down in the comments, and I'll do some outreach once this video goes live for that as well. There's no starting date for this tournament quite yet. I haven't nailed that down properly. It's going to take place later in the year, either way, not like November. Maybe like early December, I would say. I'm taking a vacation late December, so it will have to be either early December or like mid-December, or it'll be early January, or I guess closer to mid-January, but it'll be a fun thing. I have not done a tournament for a video game on stream since the charity stream, the Godspeed tournament, with like Preets and Keelvin, and I think Alexa was there. I can't remember. It's been that long, but Emrose, I think Script was part of that for a little bit too. So it has been a very, very, very long time in regards to doing tournaments on stream and for content, but I'm ready to get back in the saddle. And I would say if you're holding out hope for another like Stars Are Calling Binding of Isaac viewer tournament ever again, I would close that door for yourself. It's not going to happen. I've learned that doing viewer-based things, or like, you know, oh, play with viewers, it's not really clears all enemies and pickups in the room. They spawn in the next room. No, thank you. It's not feasible. Like, as much as anybody, like a viewer of, you know, my channel or somebody else's channel wants to think it's easy to set that kind of stuff up, it's not. I think the biggest thing is, like, other creators have incentive to show up because, you know, they are planning to and their community is looking forward to it and stuff like that. Whereas a random viewer could just, like, not show up for that tournament and mess up the entire bracket. It happened quite a bit with the Stars Are Calling back in the day when I was, you know, still at, like, 3K subs. Oh, hey, thank you for that one. Well, it's the wrong way anyways, so that just screwed things over. The other thing is, too, is, like, normally when it comes to tournaments and doing stuff with viewers or any kind of, like, collab thing, you want to be in a call with that person so you can talk to them and make banter as things are going on. And no offense to any viewer of anybody's channel, but there's a lot more to commentary than just, like, talking. And while you may think, oh, yeah, I'd be pretty good at this type of thing, or I wouldn't have an issue with, you know, talking, etc., there's more nuance to it than that, I think. Where, like, I did a video a long time ago with a viewer for the 4-player file. And it just, commentary's different when it's somebody you don't know or, like, isn't a creator. It's a whole different kind of talking and entertainment than just, like, chatting with friends. There needs to be like a previous rapport already to make it, you know, naturally flow. It's hard to explain, but like viewer-based stuff doesn't do as well, and nor it's a lot harder to set up too when it comes to tournaments, brackets, and it turns people away from like a stream or a video when somebody who hasn't really done content before is just starting. It just makes the whole thing kind of stagnate. And it's like, it's not a personal issue with anybody, but the easiest way to understand what I'm trying to refer to is just to start making content yourself. Because it's like, if you try to like talk over an Isaac run, for example, I'm taking a lot of damage, by the way. Or you try to record like your own Isaac run, or you try to record like a Let's Play or something, you'll know that it's very different breed than just like talking to a friend on Discord while you're playing. You're much more conscious of yourself being on camera, and it makes you act differently and less natural, I guess is a good way to put it. In the simplest terms, there is a lot more nuance to it than just like talking or communicating. There's more that goes into it too. Plus, it's also like microphone quality. Whereas like other streamers and creators are usually bound to have decent equipment for their own streams and stuff, whereas viewers might just have like a Razer Kraken microphone or like a you know, Blue Snowball USB or like Apple, you know, headphone microphone, shit like that, which can definitely diminish the quality of whatever call you're in, whatever you're doing. So it is just hey, look at that, a different kind of deal altogether, and I don't plan to do anything viewer-oriented for a while. If I were, it would go down like how, I guess, we were going to do a 2v2 Isaac tournament called Double Trouble Dice Roll, I think, back in the day, and we planned just to have like an entry fee for it, of like $5, so that if somebody was going to go, they already paid the money, so they might as well show up. And it gives people, it makes the more committed people want to show up, I guess. They're not going to like dip and mess up the entire bracket last minute. But hey, that's the run. That's ICARUS. Mod, as always, is down below in the Steam collection. If you enjoyed the video and my commentary, a like and a comment goes a long way for a small channel like mine. In the meantime, though, guys, I have been BD1P. Peace out and goodbye.